This was me in March of 2020 giving my first TED Talk. On the outside, I look calm and collected, but on the inside, I genuinely thought I was going to die. Yeah, I know, we all get stage fright and we all get nervous about public speaking, but for me, it's even worse. Why? I have generalized anxiety disorder. This means that I get super totally stressed out to the max about anything and everything that comes into my life. I really like being in my comfort zone. There were multiple times leading up to the presentation where I considered dropping out and avoiding the problem completely. I just wanted to return to my comfort zone and get back to that no stress part of my life. However, I knew that going through with this talk would open doors for me and for so many others that I never even knew existed. Clearly it worked, because here I am telling you why it's important for you to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. If someone like me who gets nervous at the thought of getting up in front of the class and grabbing a tissue can do this, you definitely can. Okay, so I know you've heard of the term comfort zone many times in your life, but what does it actually mean? According to Dr. Judith Bardwick, the comfort zone is a behavioral state in which someone acts in an anxiety-neutral condition using a steady level of performance, usually without a sense of risk. In simpler terms, if you like how your life is going, you don't do anything to change it. That sounds good, right? Well, actually, that can be kind of bad. This has to do with something called the Yerkes-Dodson law. The Yerkes-Dodson law is a law that studies the relationship between pressure and performance. Let's take a look at this bell curve. At the bottom, or x-axis, we have arousal, aka pressure and stress. On the side, or y-axis, we have performance. Basically, the Yerkes-Dodson law states that as pressure increases, so does performance until you reach an absolute peak of what you're able to do. Any kind of stress or pressure beyond your peak will cause your performance to decrease, basically making you enter a state of exhaustion. Let's go back to the front of this bell curve. This is what I like to call the comfort zone of the bell curve. Your life is going pretty well, you're not super stressed about anything, so you're doing everything at your usual average level of performance. After spending a certain amount of time of your life in this low pressure area, you start to get bored. When you get bored, your motivation decreases and your satisfaction and level of happiness also decreases. Basically, you do a reverse bell curve and you revert back to this low pressure performance area of your life. Okay, so you're like, well, that's cool. I can just keep living my life the way I am and feel absolutely no stress. Well, the stress that you're thinking about is that sweaty palms, headache, so much to do, so little time stress. Here, we're talking about stress in the more general sense of the word, aka just motivation and your basic feelings of arousal. This kind of stress can actually increase focus, motivation, and creativity, fostering that self-improvement and growth that so many people strive for. And this is the key to exiting your comfort zone and entering what we're going to talk about, the growth zone. Here you can see we have the comfort zone. Outside of the comfort zone, we have what's called the fear zone. Ooh, scary. Well, yes, it can be scary, but it doesn't have to be, and it's necessary in order to enter the learning zone. The learning zone is where you start to get comfortable and your anxiety begins to decrease. Then you can enter the growth zone. The growth zone is where you get completely comfortable with all the new things that you have to do and you become motivated to expand your comfort zone even further. People who are in their growth zone are usually more in touch with their emotions, they're more aware of their abilities and what they're capable of doing, and they generally have a higher quality of life. That sounds pretty good, right? That's why it's important for you to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. You're going to be nervous about things, and that is just a natural human response. It's what you choose to do with those nerves that makes the difference. I didn't want to sit down and let my anxiety control my life and stop me from being the best version of myself. So I took my nerves and channeled them into helping me become that person. I know so many of you can relate to what I'm saying, and you kind of just need that push to help you do that thing that's making you nervous. Well, consider this your push. Go out and try that new workout routine. Get that new haircut, or even go skydiving if you want to. You may feel like you're only making small steps towards getting out of your comfort zone, but they still matter. You are growing, and you should be proud of that.